So what are you doing tonight?
I don't know. Probably go home, eat food, eat some keto cake. Oh, by the way, I turned 16, so y'all can't keep saying that I've been 15 for 3 years now.
So why do you think you bodybuild? Like a lot of people would tell you, kids aren't supposed to bodybuild, it's gonna stunt your growth, it's unhealthy. Like, are your parents forcing you to do this? Is it really what you love to do? Or like, is someone making you do this? Or is this something that you just want to pursue yourself?
Well, playing soccer is my main goal and my main focus. With that being my main focus, the weight training and the bodybuilding allows me to play that more effectively, more efficiently, and be on the field more, having less injuries. As far as people pushing me to do it, I say there's people that motivate me to do it and push me further to go further, but there's no one that's forcing me to do it because it's a stress reliever for me, and I genuinely enjoy the feeling of going into the gym and giving your absolute 100%. It's the same thing on the field, it's the same thing off the field, and it's the same thing with anything you do in your life. The ideology around it is that you have to put absolutely everything into it.
So how do you deal with negativity in your life?
I think negativity is only how you think of it. So if you're really looking and taking it to heart, then it's going to affect you. But if you just think of it as background noise in the long-term picture of looking at your goals, then it really can't affect you. So personally, with negativity from whoever it is around in school, online on social media, because it's going to be there, it's going to happen. You just have to think of that as all background noise and just don't take it to heart. Don't let it affect you and just keep pushing towards your goal.
So what are some of the struggles you go through personally?
I would say that the main struggle that I go through is balancing school, soccer, and weight training and getting enough of each and making sure that I really keep my academics up, seeing as my parents and my family value it a lot. I mean, it's more about how I manage my time and how I'm able to, let's say, train soccer in the morning and do weight training at night, and then do my school in between. And then, so that's what I would say is the biggest struggle as a 15-year-old or 16-year-old now, in high school, as a student athlete, just being able to balance my time.
So there's a lot of people out there that ask you, like, how do you maintain such a strict diet, and what motivates you to maintain that diet? Because there's a lot of people out there also that really struggle with their diets and with cheating on their diets if they're trying to lose weight. So what's your recommendation to those people?
Well, I think a lot of people under research and they go into diets thinking that it's strictly this and you're not able to have fun, and it's very restrictive, rather than looking into different clean cheats, as I would call them, which is desserts that are made with healthy substitutes rather than using sugar. You use stevia, erythritol, and stuff like that. So I think it's more about doing the research into it and figuring out how you can beat those cravings by substituting something else in rather than using something that's gonna be harmful to your body. And again, it comes down to whether or not you want it. If your main goal is to lose weight, or if your main goal is to eat healthy, if you truly want it, you have to push through those times where it's tough and you're craving stuff, and you have to do that research. A lot of people have to also understand is that when you're removing something out of your diet, so for example with ketogenic, I remove carbohydrates, it's a low carb diet and it's low sugar, you're gonna have to substitute something back in so that your body's not running off of nothing. So with me, it's healthy fats and having lots of those healthy fats to run off of.
So you only blew up about 9 months ago, and it's probably changed your whole perspective on working out and just like, how much does social media get in the way of working out?
Well, I think sometimes I have to look back and focus on what I truly want, because let's say I'm doing a workout and I want to get a video for Instagram or for YouTube, and I'd rather, sometimes I catch myself wanting to film that video while I'm working out rather than waiting till after so that I get a full solid workout. So yes, it has changed slightly, but I try to catch myself and bring myself back into the focus zone where I'm able to work as hard as I possibly can and put absolutely 100% into it. Also, I talk a lot about this, but it's like, if I did not have this social media, if I didn't blow up on social media, would I be still doing the same training, and would I still be working out, and would I still be playing soccer just as hard? And usually, like, my answer to that would be yes. So every time I get out of that focus zone, I just put myself right back into it and get to work.
Some people would say, you know, bodybuilding is going to make you heavy for soccer and lethargic, and it's going to slow you down and stuff like that. But you do more than that, don't you?
Yeah, so when I'm training specifically bodybuilding, it never really started that way. I mean, I wanted to get stronger for soccer because being a smaller player on the field, I need to be strong enough to play against tall players, 6 foot tall players that are the same age as me but are much stronger. So using weight training to strengthen myself up, that just slowly turned and merged into bodybuilding. It's still the same style of training, but I was able to put on the mass that I needed to. And if you think about it, there's players on, let's say like Manchester United, they have Romelu Lukaku, who's a big bulky guy, but he's still agile because he's working on his agility every day. And it's not just bodybuilding that I'm working on. I'm working on my quick feet, my dribbling, and all this stuff. And it's just finding balance between the two so that I'm able to perform at my absolute best. If I'm constantly working on my legs for soccer, because people often say like, oh, well, there's no point in doing curls or whatever, or a bench press for soccer when you're going to be using your legs most of the time. Well, I'd argue that in the game, physicality becomes more and more prominent as you get older, and you need to use your arms to body off players, to hold off players, and it's not just your legs. Also finding that balance, if you have instability or an imbalance between your legs and your upper body, you're going to have trouble being agile and being balanced on the field. So finding the in-between of both training legs enough, training your upper body enough, staying agile enough, that's what will really help you progress.
So what do you have to say to people, kids that struggle with, believing in themselves and that they can get to their goal? Like, for example, you're very like strong-willed and determined,
Yeah.
but some other kids aren't, and what would you say to them?
Well, I think you need to find your main goal, because if you're not doing what you truly love and you're truly passionate about, you're not going to be able to push yourself past the limits that you need and the thresholds that you need to break to reach a certain level and progress in whatever your field is. I think that there's no reason why you shouldn't go for your goals, and there's no reason why you should think that you won't make it, because with that mentality, there's no chance you're going to make it. And I spoke with Bradley Martin about this in his podcast. It's the whole idea and the whole ideology around why not me? Why? Because the people at the top were put in the same position at that same time, being young, and had to work the same way to get to where they are. So you just have to ask yourself what your true goals are and just work towards them. Alright, so that takes us to the end of the video. Thanks again for clicking on the video. Make sure you click the subscribe button, click the like button, turn on notifications so that you get notified every time I post a new video, and I'll see you in the next one.